Hello student, welcome to the online tutorial session, and this is the last lecture session for this chapter. The topic left, it is the data model part. Okay, so the data models are the collections of conceptual tools for describing the data. So the relationship between the data and the constraints application on data, that etc. Okay, so there are various data models are available, which can be broadly classified into a physical model is there. So physical, under physical model, so these are the data model used to describe the data at the lower level. So I hope you understand the lowest level of data abstraction. Okay, so there are two popular data model is used over here. That is, one is unifying model and another one is the frame memory model. Okay, so under physical model, the two models are very popular. That is unifying model and another one is the frame memory model. Okay, so these two other models are very popular. Okay, so there are record based logical models also there. So the data models are used to describe the data at the logical and the view level. Okay, so it uses the concept that may be understood by the end user and at the same time close to the way to data is actually organized within a computer. Okay, so there are different type of record based models are available. One is the hierarchical model, number two is the network model, number three is the relational model. Okay, so these three are based on the hierarchical model, network model and relation model. These three models are based on the record based logical models. Okay, so now and the entity relationship model. So entity relationship model is actually the part of the object based logical models. Okay, so what is object based logical model? The these data models are used to describe the data at the logical and the view level. These models are closer to the human perceptions and further from the system's perception. Okay, so in the middle of 1980s, it was observed the relational database were not actually practically for storing the data in the fields like medicine, multimedia, and high energy physics. So, to give a flexibility over there, so we have incorporated the new kind of a model, that is the object-oriented model. Okay, the another one is the entity relationship models. Okay, so now today we will explain only three models, that is hierarchical model, network model and the relationship model, as the ER model, that is ER diagram, is excluded from your syllabus. So we will only concentrate on these three topics. Okay, so now coming to the topic, that is the hierarchical model. Okay, so this model is the oldest model of the database created by IBM during the 1960s. You remember that in 1960s it is created by IBM. Okay. Here the records are logically organized into a hierarchical relationship. So as we can see, if you the example over there I have given, the hierarchical model, that is theory and lab is part of a courses. Okay, so course, the teachers and the student also part of the department. Department is also part of a college. In this way, in a hierarchical format, we have arranged the data and we are denoting the relationship also. Okay, forming the relation also, and in an inverted tree format. So tree is like this. Tree is like this, but it is an inverted tree. Inverted tree means like this. Okay, so it is an inverted tree-like structure. So the schema for the hierarchical database consists of the boxes, which is corresponds to the record types, and the lines are correspond to the relationship between them. These lines are relating the relationship between them, and boxes are the record types. Okay. So all records in a hierarchy are called nodes, and each node also related to the next in its parent-child relationship. So these two having the parents course is having parents the department. So the parents in the parent-child format, they have kept the relationship. Okay. So the record that is own other records are called parent records, because department is having the records of course, teacher and student. So that's why department is a parent record. Or and the each parent node are having one or more child node, like that department having course, teacher and student, and this top node, that is the college is known as the root node. This is the basic structure of the hierarchical model. Okay, so now we have to know that what is the advantages of having this hierarchical model. This model allows us a easy addition and deletion of the information. Another advantage is that data at the top of the hierarchy are very fast to access, because from root there are from that particular root one parent is there, another depending on parent. So it is very easy to access this. Okay, it is a good for entities that have one-to-many relationship between them. Now, what is a one-to-many relationship? We will learn in the relational model chapter. That point of time it will be clear to you. Now coming back to the what are the disadvantages having. So it requires the data to be repeatedly stored in many different entities, and the database can be very slow when searching for the information on the lower entities. When you searching for the lower entities, it will be taking too much of time. Okay, and now the searching for the data requires DBMS to run through the entire model. So from the top to bottom you have to search from everywhere to find out the information, and many-to-many relationships are not supported over here. Here only the relationship supported is the one-to-one relationship. Okay, so now we have talked about the next model, that is the network model. This model is used to store similar to the hierarchical models and the parent-child relationship. A hierarchical model is a subset of the network model. So the network model was developed during 1970s. Okay, and it uses a set theory to represent the records and the links. However, unlike the hierarchical model, it's allowed the record or to be child of more than one parent record. Okay, and the relationship between different record is represented by the links from pointed arrow. Okay, so as you can see, there is an example also there. In this example you are able to see. Okay, so what are actually the advantages over having the network model? So this model retain almost all the advantages of hierarchical model. So if you want to implement network model, it is an extra advantage that you are getting the glance of the hierarchical model as well. The network model is conceptually simple and it is very easy to design. Okay, and the network model supports the both one-to-one and many-to-many relationship, and data access is easier than the hierarchical model. It is very easier. Okay, and now what is the disadvantage part? The model is very difficult to implement. Okay, and also the maintenance. The whole database structure is complex one, as it involves lots of pointers and links. Okay, so making the structural changes to the database is difficult. Okay, so most of the cases, if you made any structural changes, okay, if you add a node, if you delete a node, okay, you attached one child with another panel, something, that will be very difficult to do it. Okay, so now the network model is over, and now we are going for the topic that is a relational model. So this is the most popular database model in use today. So it is developed during 1980s. Remember that it is developed in 1980s. Okay, and virtually replace the hierarchical and the network model. In this model, data and the relationship between them are represented using the collection of the table, and tables are joined by the relationship. This line shows the relationship, and whatever data is there, it is situated or contained in the form of table, and say both the two or more tables are related to with each other by a particular relationship. Okay, so what is the advantage of having this relationship model? The representation of the information in the form of table consists of rows and columns. So it is much more easier to understand and access the information. Different tables can be easily combined and manipulated extra requests. So if you can, suppose I am having three tables. Okay, I can incorporate the fourth table, and I can link the one with one table with the fourth number table, or three with the fourth number table. It is easily we can do that. Okay, the use of relational algebra and relational calculus to manipulate the relationship between tables removes any ambiguity which is usually may arise in the network model, can be handled over here. And if the data is naturally organized in a hierarchical manner and stored as a such, then the hierarchical approach may be more economical. Okay, so I hope the relational model part, that is the data model part, is clear to you. So I am come to end of this lecture session, end of the lecture sessions, and as well as we have completed this chapter. And next we will focus on the only particularly on the chapter that is relational model. Thank you, student. I am ending my lecture over here.